This episode of Simone Loves Hour is sponsored by TDS Accounting and Tax Services, where we provide a wide range of services. We provide accounting services tailored to your specific business needs. We also provide personal and business tax services. So give us a call today at 202-299-4082. Again, 202-299-4082 to set up an appointment today.
I'm Simone Love, and after my son was sentenced to life plus 527 years, I took on some of the guilt for his predicament, which I portray in this next release titled Sorry, available now on most streaming networks.
I ain't so sorry.
Do you like action, adventure, and romance? Good. My name is Rodney A. Nobles. I am the author of the Drifter book series. The series is about a prominent black professional named Max Cordell. He was a high-profile lawyer and world karate champion who owned 2 karate schools. He was falsely accused of having relations with a teenage student. He was stripped of his law license, his school was shut down, and he was thrown into prison. After spending nearly 2 years in prison, the teenage girl admitted it was all a lie. Max Cordell left prison a scarred man. Although he wanted nothing else to do with humanity, he couldn't turn his back on people who were being oppressed by bad people. He used his martial arts skills and his legendary sword to help people, and then he would move on. The people began calling him the Drifter. The book series can be purchased from my website, www.rodneyanobles.com. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to Simone Loves Reality Radio, where we'll be hearing uncut, uncensored conversations about prison love, mental health, addiction, wrongful convictions, and much, much more. I'm your host, Simone Love. Thank you for tuning in, and please enjoy the show.
Listen up, listen in. Tell your mom, tell a friend, tuna man. Listen up, listen in. Tell your mom, tell a friend, tuna man. Love, 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 love. The Simone Love Show. Love, 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 love. The Simone Love Show.
My son has been incarcerated for over a decade now, after being sentenced to 12 life terms for a non-life-taking crime. This journey, our journey, in our quest for his freedom through activism and criminal justice reform, I've come across numerous inmates. Since they face seclusion from the world, we decided to start recording our calls. Most times, we forget the recording is on, and this is how we created Simone Loves Reality Radio, Dead from Society, Alive for Profit, Voices of the Incarcerated. What's going on, Mr. Jones?
Everything, another day. Fighting for this freedom.
Absolutely. So, we finished up talking about the gentleman who got shot, how they did not question him thoroughly on the witness stand about his statement and how he identified you. Right? Also, so tell me a little bit about his statement about when he was on stand at the trial, and then we can move on to talk about this affidavit that you mentioned.
Oh, well, at the trial, the state's main witness, the main witness was shot in the head. He was shot in the head, and he happened to survive the case, the situation.
Okay.
But he got on at trial, he and everything changed that trial. Like his initial statement that he told the police, everything switched. Like totally, it's all in black and white. You have it back there with you.
Mm-hmm.
Everything switched. So in trial, when he initially said, when he woke up out the coma and he gave his statement on video, he was saying how, he didn't know who shot him. He couldn't really see. The house was dark. The people used a lighter. The lights didn't work in the house. And his initial statement, this is fresh out the coma. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now at trial, he immediately said, I shot him. He points to me that I shot him, and he could see fine. All the lights was on in the house. He turned the lights on himself. I'm talking about total change up. Completely, I'm sitting there like, what the F? I'm like, I'm shocked, like, because I got the paperwork right in my cell that say something different.
And your attorney has that paperwork as well, right?
Yeah, the attorney would not question it. He would not touch how he was in ICU unconscious. He didn't ask no question about how did you identify him. None of that. Nothing to the effect of the attorney did not question him about nothing about that identification. Nothing about why you switched your statement and now you saying this. Nothing. The attorney said absolutely nothing. But I know why the attorney said absolutely nothing. It's because of the deal the attorney made with the judge that came out later on. And that's in black and white also.
Okay. So, when I know you had a co-defendant. What did this gentleman testify to from what you know, during the co-defendant's trial that was conflicting?
At the co-defendant's trial, he said that the co-defendant, his lawyer was questioning him. I didn't go to trial. He went to trial in 2003. My trial was 2005, 2 years later.
Okay.
But at the co-defendant trial, the main witness, he said that when the lawyer was questioning him, the lawyer said, as far as Michael Jones, you didn't know his name was Michael Jones or Michael Badunkadunk. You didn't know his name at all. So how did you know his name and all that? He said, his exact words is, I read about the case on the internet.
Wow.
Hold up. You read how you know me and about me because you read about the case on the internet when the police and everybody said in my arrest warrant, you said you knew me and everything.
Wow. So was your attorney...
To get to know me...
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
To get to know me,
mm-hmm.
He had to read about my case on the internet after the situation happened. Because he didn't know what happened to him.
Right.
But that's not what the detective said. So basically, he let the news media tell him what happened to him. He let the internet tell him what happened to him. He know that didn't happen to him. He know I didn't do that to him. He know that, but he read it on the internet. So he just going by what they said.
So your attorney, were they able to use any information from the co-defendant's trial, or they were not?
They was able to, but they didn't because of the deal that the lawyer made with the judge to make sure that I was found guilty. That was the deal. The personal favor from the court is in black and white. That was the deal.
So you had, during your trial or during your course of court appearances, you had two separate attorneys, correct?
Yes. Kevin O'Connell and Jerome Capone.
Was that the first set?
Attorneys. No, that was my second set of attorneys. My first set of attorneys was Kester Cross and Raymond Armstrong.
Okay.
The first set of attorneys had a conflict because the chief of the public defenders called me a murderer. So they had to pull out, and that's when the judge gave me Jerome. She appointed Jerome Capone and Kevin O'Connell to do her dirty work.
So how
that's
did
what she did?
Did your first set of attorneys call you a murderer? Like, tell me about that.
So I was in a video conference meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So when I stepped in the room, I seen all of them on a monitor. It was like the whole public defender's office, the chief public defender, Dallas Winslow, and that's the one that called me a murderer. Yeah, Dallas Winslow. Him, Kessler Cross, Raymond Armstrong. It was a mitigator specialist in there. It was like a whole little team they had that's supposed to be representing me. So as I walk in the meeting, they didn't know their microphones was on. So I'm sitting there, waiting for the meeting to start. And Dallas Winslow say, "Oh, there's our murderer right there. There you go. There's our murderer. There you go." So I'm looking like, what the F he just said?
And this was somebody that was supposed to be representing you, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be representing me.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't, yeah. So I didn't say nothing. I understood everything was going on. So the meeting continued. So when the lady came through, I forgot her name. I can't remember her name. She was a mitigating specialist for the public defender's office. So she came to see me like a week later. And when I asked, I said, "You see what I've been telling you, that they all against me?" She was like, "What you mean?" I said, "You were sitting right there when he called me a murderer to my face." She said, "You heard that?" "Yeah, I heard it." She's like, "Oh my God, that was so inappropriate. I didn't know you heard it."
Unbelievable.
She was just like, she turned red, like, "Oh my God, you heard him." So she went back after she seen me and told them. And that's when they had a little meeting with the judge, and I got that in black and white. That's the transcript you seen when the judge was mad that he called me a murderer, because now she said there's going to be a basis for me to complain. What I've been telling her all along, that the lawyers is against me. I was telling her that the whole time. Kessler Cross said he can't do nothing but help save my life. He can't fight for me or none of that, because a victim in one of the victims in my case is he's friends with the family, and almost everybody's friends with the family. So he said he don't care if an elephant was sitting in my seat. I'm gonna be found guilty. That's his exact words. It don't matter who's sitting in your seat. They're gonna be found guilty. This is the lawyer's exact words.
Wow. How dare they? This is a public defender's office, and just to think of all the people that they feel the same way about, and they're letting these people like take people's lives.
Dallas Winslow turned into a prosecutor. That's just to let you know. Yeah, he turned into a prosecutor.
He's now a prosecutor.
I don't know what he's doing now, but after that, he was a prosecutor.
Oh, okay,
I don't know what he's doing right now.
Okay.
No, that was years ago.
Okay.
But he always had the mind state,
So he didn't. So the Judge Jane. No, what was her name? Peggy Abelman. Judge Peggy Abelman. When you brought it to her attention that your public defender was calling you a murderer, what was her response?
Oh, it's all on the black and white. You read it.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Oh, I don't think that he meant it." But this is the thing. She said she don't think he meant it. It was like a joke. No.
Oh, really?
No joke.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a joke. Oh, it was just a joke. Nah, it wasn't no joke. He didn't even know I heard him. It wasn't no joke. He said it with a straight face. I was looking right at him, and everybody in the room looking like stone face, like, come on, man. Everything. The public defender's office worked for the prosecutor office. That's just how it goes. That's the Delaware way, corruption. If anybody's family listening to this, if your family was represented by that public defender's office, they was fed to the prosecutor. And they do favors for favors. It's the Delaware way, and I got it in black and white. That's what they do. The judges promise the lawyers favors to take people down that they don't like. And I got it in black and white. This don't just happen to me. I'm just probably the only one that have it in black and white, undisputed. You can't dispute it. It's facts, black and white. You can't dispute what happens. This happens every day in the Delaware court system. Every single day. This happens. You got your family members sitting in here, and they done set them up. They go after the minorities the most. You see the discrepancies in the sentencing between the white, the Caucasian, and the blacks and the Hispanics. You see it. You see it.
Wow.
We get slam dunked. You black, you Spanish, you get slammed. That's just how it goes. You know what I mean? And it's always going to go like that till people start speaking up. You know what I'm saying? And nobody wants this to come out. Because now it's shedding a light on the BS they've been doing for decades and eons. They've been doing this since the beginning of time. You can take it back to slavery. Slavery ain't never stopped. They just came up with a sophisticated way to do it.
Absolutely.
The criminal justice system.
Absolutely.
That's what they did. It's a sophisticated way to do it.
Yep.
And that's how they did it. And they all in it together. Their kids go to school together. They go to barbecues together. They go to country clubs together. They all know each other. They best friends. They go to bars together. They would never go against each other. And that's why Kathleen Jennings refused to do anything. She knows what's going on.
So let's talk about going to Phoebe's Fishery together, the Phoebe's Fishery restaurant.
Yes.
Tell us about...
So, from my understanding, when the lawyers was telling me, the judge went to the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
They told me, they set me down after I got convicted and said, oh, we're so sorry, we're so sorry. And I'm like, why are they saying all this? Like, we so sorry. I didn't understand why they were saying that.
Uh-huh.
They're like, we're so sorry. We have to tell you something. Tell me what? Your judge got caught at the restaurant talking about killing you. She said some very nasty things about killing you, making sure you die, and very nasty things. And we're going to put a motion in for you for a new trial and for her to recuse herself. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, she was caught in the restaurant saying, you know, you're going to die. There's nothing nobody could do about it. She's going to make sure you die. And I was like, what? So they said they're going to send me the motions when they write the motion.
Mm-hmm.
So they wrote the motions. I get the motions in the mail. And I'm like, what the F? The judge is in a restaurant with her husband and some other, court people, another judge from Delaware Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
The friends, they all circled.
Right.
And she was getting drunk, throwing back shot after shot of liquor. And she's basically going ballistic, crying. He think he could come to this state and get away with this? I don't give a F what nobody say. That mother effer gonna die. I got the last say. I don't care about no jury. I don't care about them lawyers. He's gonna effing die. And she was just going off. And two people at the bar overheard her. And they was like, oh, she's talking about killing somebody. That's a judge? And then she said the lawyer name. And just so happened, one of the people knew the lawyer, Kevin O'Connell. So that's how it got reported back. They immediately went to him like, yo, a judge was in there talking about, something at a sidebar, and she pissed off. How could you this and that? And it just went berserk. I couldn't believe it myself. I'm like, oh my God, like, I never had a win. So once they put that motion in, she came back with a response. She responded to the motion. And then her response, she went off. I'm talking about, she said all types of, she made stuff up, lies, all types of stuff. So she responded. So after she responded, thinking she was getting her stuff off, now she done started a war with the lawyers. Now it ain't even about me no more. They use my motions to argue with each other. It wasn't even about me no more. You got that. You read it. So they responded back like, saying like, it's impossible for her to say what she's saying because that didn't happen yet. She got to be a psychic to know this. They was just basically bashing her. So she put a response back to their motion again, where she said, yeah, that's what she said. She said they ain't do their job, and that's basically why my case went the way it went, because my lawyers ain't do their job. So that's when the lawyers filed a motion to reconsider, and Jerome Capone said, I never wanted the case. He said he never wanted the case. His caseload was already full, and he knew he couldn't work on the case because he had other cases, and he didn't take the case. Only reason he took the case is because Peggy Abelman promised him he got the court gave a big personal favor from the court.
They consider it a big personal favor to the court.
From the court for my case.
Yep.
So this is in black and white. So this is not just my case. This is what goes on in everybody's case in Delaware. The judge promised the lawyer a favor for my case, man. This is serious.
And it's in writing, like you said. It's in writing.
I was a kid. It's in black and white. I was a kid. I was a juvenile. They plotted to murder me. How nobody paying attention to what's going on? This was a plot. This was a crime committed by government officials. And nobody want to do nothing about it because the cases that it's going to affect. Yeah, it's supposed to. It's hundreds of people in here just like me. They plotted this. This is in black and white. They thought I was illiterate. You read that part? You read that part when they thought they was like, oh my God, he understood. They thought I was illiterate. They thought I was dumb. They thought this would never come out. 22 years I've been sitting here trying to get the world to hear me, trying to get somebody to hear me. That's what they did. And it's not just me in here. It's hundreds of guys they did this to. Hundreds. In the hundreds. Sitting in here, innocent, taking pleas, because they know they can't. They know it's rigged. They know it's rigged. You know what I'm saying? And it's a death sentence. Life, being sentenced to life in jail is death. That's a death sentence.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like they using a government position. They supposed to be honorable people. They supposed to be people the public's supposed to trust. And that's how they commit their crimes. That's how they commit their crimes. Nobody paying attention to what they doing. Because when you go to jail, most people forget about you. And they know that.
Yeah.
They know that. It's sophisticated. They know once we put this guy in jail, his family's gonna forget about him. His wife is gonna forget about him. If he got kids, they're gonna grow up without him and they ain't even gonna know who he is. They've been doing this for so long. It's a system they got. And it's working.
Well, they don't have the financial means.
You can't get nobody to,
you
can't get nobody to listen to you unless you show them proof. Like, I know you was blown away, Simone, when you seen the paperwork in black and white. You couldn't believe it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what I want to talk about because, like you mentioned before, the current Attorney General, although she wasn't the Attorney General at that point in time, Kathy Jennings, took the sworn statement and affidavit and witness comment who overheard your judge in a restaurant talking about your case. She is the one that went and interviewed them and found that their testimony was credible.
Yes, she did.
You have 1 minute remaining.
And she advised my attorneys to file a motion. Kathleen Jennings, she was a lawyer in 2005. After she assessed their credibility, the two people that heard the judge in the restaurant, she advised my attorneys to file a motion for a new trial and everything else. And now she acting like she not even responding to no letters, no nothing. She acting like nothing ever happened. Now she the Attorney General. She could right the wrong. She could right the wrong right now today. Tomorrow I could be let go. She know what happened. She know what the judge had to do to make sure I was found guilty.
So when you come back, let's talk more about this affidavit and specifically what was said in the restaurant by your judge, who's in charge of your life.
Yes. I had a no-win situation. She said she was going to make sure I died. And the jury voted 11-1 for death. But the only reason I was saved because you...
Thank you for using GTL.
After this break, we'll hear more from Mr. Michael Jones and a discussion about his presiding judge in a public restaurant discussing his case. So make sure you keep it locked right here on redmediaradio.com.
They tryna keep me locked for a sense. They tryna keep me locked for a sense. Slave time, I done paid up on my dues. It was never right trying to confiscate my rights, but my case won't even make the time of the news. 527 life, I can't do it all. Try to put me underneath, I can feel the weight. I've been fighting for my life, I don't know who to call. Lord, please lend me your wings. Please lend me your wings. Lord, please lend me your wings. Hey, please lend me your. Please let me your. Please let me your wings. Please let me your one. Yeah. Please let me your. I've been fighting for my life. 527 can't do it. Fighting for my life. 527 can't. I've been fighting for. I've been fighting for my life. Yeah, oh yeah.
So you first heard about the comments that were being made in the restaurant from your attorneys, and they were saying they were sorry, they were sorry, they were sorry. So what kind of details did they give you about this whole restaurant situation?
Oh, they told me that was, the judge made some very disturbing conversations. They were both basically talking at the same time.
Uh-huh.
They said the judge made some very disturbing conversations talking about, she was going to basically kill me. I looked at them, they looking like yeah, like she wants you dead.
I'm going to read it.
Very disturbing conversations in the restaurant. They going to file the proper paperwork to get me a new trial and get her to get off my case. That's what they said. So, and I was just like, it was unbelievable to me. Like a judge getting caught in a restaurant talking about she's gonna kill somebody that she's presiding over their case.
Right. It's like a TV. Like this is TV, like a whole movie. Your whole
so
case.
Crazy. Yeah, but it's so crazy because I knew she had it out for me, but I didn't know it was that bad. Like I like the stuff she was doing, everything favored the prosecutors. You understand what I'm saying? Like I didn't fully understand what was going on because I was still, fully didn't understand the whole court process. I had to learn it over the years. We come in, you young,
right.
from a poverty-stricken background. I don't know nothing about what's going on in the court system. It takes years for you to learn about that.
Right,
Even,
right.
Lawyers and stuff. So that's how they get a lot of us. Because we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
We don't know what to do. So they take advantage.
So Kathleen Jennings was contacted by your attorneys, Kevin O'Connell. And let me just read the first page of this document. An affidavit of Kathleen Jennings, and it says, I, Kathleen Jennings, being duly sworn, state as follows. I am an attorney with the law firm of Oberly, Jennings, and Redonda, and I am a licensed to practice law in the state of Delaware. On February 16th, 2005, in the morning, I received, let me read it because I'm trying to read it sideways. Oh, shoot. In the morning, I received a telephone call at my, office from Jerome Capone. And Jerome Capone is your attorney, right?
Yeah, the other attorney. Yep.
So you had two. So he contacted her office to advise her. Telephone call at my office. He related that he and Kevin O'Connell were defending Michael Jones in a capital case that was currently being tried before the Honorable Peggy L. Abelman. Mr. Capone further related that he had spoken with a client of Kevin O'Connell's. I'm not going to say his name. Had called Kevin O'Connell to report a conversation that he and a female companion had overheard on the evening of February the 15th concerning the Jones trial. Mr. Capone stated that revealed to him that he had overheard the judge in the case criticizing Kevin O'Connell and commenting upon the death penalty. Mr. Capone requested that I interview this gentleman and his female companion. Wow.
That's how the affidavit started off.
Right.
Like even the affidavit, they didn't want to really, bash the judge too hard, but they basically said what she said. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, she said what she said. It wasn't too much else. She said what she said. She killed me. That was the bottom line. She was crying, drinking, throwing back shot after shot of liquor. You know what I'm saying? This you right. This don't happen in real life, do it?
Exactly. It's a whole movie.
Yeah.
But during this affidavit, it's the young lady who was with the other gentleman in the restaurant that overheard the conversation. I mean, she gave some real clear details.
Yeah, down to what she was trying to order and drink, everything. Down to
Yes,
everything.
yes, she had the time, the
Who she
place.
was
They
sitting
used the
with,
credit cards.
everything.
The man paid with the credit card. He was standing up. One was sitting down. It was a tall male. He remained standing. The tall male requested a wine list. He ordered a number 22 from the list. The waiter said that they did not have the 22 in stock. Now, who makes this up? You know what I mean? And
yeah, that's why Catherine Jennings in
somehow our call has dropped, but we're going to take a quick little break and we'll be right back with Mr. Jones. So make sure you keep it locked right here on redmediaradio.com. This song is for all the single parents out there that's holding it down on your own. And nobody's perfect, and then I just want to let you know that it's okay to say I'm sorry if it's pain I left you. Sorry if I disappointed you. I'm so sorry. Living single life ain't easy. Living without wealth can get the best of me. Sorry for the pain I left you. So sorry if I disappointed you. A parent's love is unconditional. Single parent home, no excuse but not traditional. I'm so sorry. 2 jobs holding it on your own ain't easy. Be cautious of those you introduce into their lives. Believe me, and I know. Sorry if I left you. Ooh, yeah, ooh. Sorry for the pain I left you. Sorry if I disappointed you. I'm so sorry. Living single life ain't easy. Living without wealth can get the best of me. Living single life ain't easy. I'm so sorry. Living single life ain't easy. Living single life ain't easy. Oh, I'm not done yet, because it is our jobs to be that of a nurturer for our children. So I always wonder, could I have, should I have, could I have? Should I have assured you read more books? Should I have been cautious what I do? Could I have, should I have, should I have? Oh yeah. Should I have assured you understood? Could I have assured you was secure? Could I have, should I have? Oh yeah. So I'm gonna read some of this, and it says, all right, so we said the tall male ordered a number 12 from the list. The tall male struck up a conversation with the bartender discussing horses and dogs. By this time, her boyfriend had arrived. He sat next to the lady, and the lady overheard the female state Can you believe O'Connell? Then the female stated in a substance that Mr. O'Connell had really angered her. She began to discuss a pending trial. The female said that she was mad driving at home, and that she went to sleep mad. At about this time, the gentleman she was with tapped the lady in order to get him to listen. The female then said that she would get the last word and that the person on trial would get the death penalty. She said that she did not care what anybody said, nor what the jury thought. The female started crying. She said that she could not believe him and that he... Oh, wait a minute. The female started crying. She said that she could not believe him and that he had the nerve to come to the sidebar. The female also said that it was a shame what happened to those people. The man to whom she was talking was consoling her. Her boyfriend couldn't hear what she said because she wasn't facing him. And the taller man standing continued his conversation with the bartender. Wow.
Yeah, but it was made more
sugar down version.
Yeah, that was the watered down version. It was a lot of cursing and explicit and all that. That was really sad. I don't even think they could have put that on paper. I don't even think they could have, they had to put it appropriate for the courts.
Right.
Nothing like that probably ever happened in America. They never caught a judge at a restaurant talking about making sure somebody died and mother efforts. They left all the persons out. But there was a lot of cursing and crying. She was so angry, she was crying. That's how angry she was.
So I can't even imagine what he said to her in this sidebar. She mentions a sidebar. So she really got pissed off. So ultimately...
It wasn't nothing said at the sidebar. She questioned his integrity. That's what he said. She called him basically a liar, at the sidebar. So that's why I think she had some type of issues or something. I don't know what was wrong with the lady, but from the door, she just had it out for me. From the door. I'm talking about his other transcripts, pre-trial, that you read, and that me and her basically was arguing back and forth. She telling me I know everything going on. How the hell are you telling me I know everything going on? I'm telling you I'm innocent. My judge telling me, no, you know everything going on. What?
Wow.
Where did this happen at?
So Kathleen Jennings was responsible for going and doing this affidavit, and she made a recommendation for your attorney to file a motion for the judge to remove herself from your case.
And for a new trial.
And how did that work out?
Oh, my judge, they tried to send it to another judge, the motions. But Peggy Averman, once again, she's more powerful than anybody. She is the law. She took the motions and ruled on them herself. She ruled on the motions against her herself. And she denied the motions. Herself. A motion about her. But she denied them. She denied the motion to remove herself, and then she denied the motion for a new trial. Both motions.
So you talk about these motions between your attorney and Judge Peggy Averman.
Yes.
Of course, she denied the motion. So your attorney wrote a motion first, and she responded. And what was some of the things she said in her motion when she responded? Because clearly, she was mad at your attorney for something.
Oh, she was very upset at my attorneys. She basically said my attorneys didn't do a good job. That's basically why I was found guilty. That's what she said. They didn't do a good job, and a lot of stuff she just was making up for real. Like, she just made up a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't even understand why I was even in there. It was a memorandum opinion. It's called the memorandum of opinion. You know, she denied it on defendant's motion to disqualify, denied, on defendant's motion for a new trial, denied. And she just was ranting, basically. No, she said, I'm a drug dealer and a part-time assassin. I murdered 2 people on a shooting spree when I was 17. And, she said, Mr. O'Connor assures that she said basically the reason I was tried with the death penalty because my lawyer made that possible. He did it. My lawyer wanted me to be tried for the death penalty. That's what she said. I'm saying that's, I don't understand that part either. She just, it's basically, she wrote a memorandum like 20 pages. It's like almost unheard of. The memorandum where she's just ranting. She's ranting. And she's just making stuff up. She's saying my lawyer lied to her, to the court. She's saying regrettable Mr. O'Connor's performance did not improve on the penalty phase. Based on his performance, he wasn't prepared, I guess, to do my case. You know what I mean?
Well, he pretty much told her he didn't want to take the case in the first place, didn't he?
Yeah, and she said Mr. Capone behaved unethically. She said some stuff about him, and he was too busy worried about his pocket instead of the case. Basically said he was too busy worried about the money instead of the case. And
because he doesn't get paid for your case, is that what?
Yeah, because he wasn't getting paid the way he normally would get paid for a case like that. So she basically blamed him. She blamed him. You know what I'm saying? She's saying there wasn't no bias against me. And she had the right to do whatever she had to do. You know what I'm saying? She ain't, you know.
So she mentioned in her memorandum that it sounds like that attorney complained that he wasn't going to get the money that he would normally get in a case for taking this from pro bono, pretty much. Not pro bono, but they get paid a little bit.
Huh? Yeah, she did whatever the prosecutor told her to do. So the prosecutor knew what lawyers he wanted to win a case. And she got with the lawyers. That's when they had the office conference where they talked about in the motion that the lawyer filed back about the person's favor. The corporate considered a big person's favor. You know what I'm saying? That he take the case. You know what I'm saying? And get my case. And, you already know what she wanted to do. She wanted me to die. So she basically promised him some things. Said, you don't gotta do much. I know you're busy and everything else. You don't want the case, but I just need you to do this for me. That's how they do. That's the backdoor deals they do. That's exactly what happened.
And they throw the case pretty much.
Yeah, basically. Throw the case. You don't got to do much work so I can kill this kid. And that was the deal they made. And that's why I didn't have no representation. That's why it's unheard. You read it yourself. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing that, as an American citizen, I sit here and this happened to me. As a juvenile, a kid, this happened to me. You know what I'm saying? This happened to me. And she just put it to where I can't even present nothing to the court because everybody's her friend. And even when I went for my resentencing as a juvenile racer, I got the same exact sentence. Out of 31 juveniles in the state of Delaware, Michael Jones was the only one given another life sentence. Everybody else gave time back. And the new judge quoted what Peggy Abrams said. Out of the most heinous juvenile she could ever envision. He quoted everything Peggy Abrams said. She wasn't even there. It's like she was there. And she said, you are never getting out of jail and this and that, so I'm going to go with her. And what she said. Like,
wow. What? So tell us a little bit about sentencing day that you can remember.
After my trial?
Yeah, after your trial.
The sentencing day, I got found guilty. You know what I mean? And it was like, the death penalty phase was next. So I told them basically, like, I ain't fighting it. You know what I'm saying? I told them, my exact words was, 20 years down the line, I'm going to find out I'm innocent. But I'm not about to just sit in jail on death row, going through all these appeals and all that. I'm going to sign away all my rights and just take the needle. Because I ain't trying to sit in jail around all these weirdos, all these rapists, child molesters, and watch them live better than me. You know what I'm saying? And watch them get the favorite treatment, and my family leave me, and everybody forget about me. Nah, just go ahead and put me to sleep. That's what I told my lawyers. Simple as that. I said 20 years later, y'all gonna find out the truth down the road. But I'm gonna go ahead and sign all the way away all my rights and just take the needle. So they just so happened they put a hold on my case, but the jury voted 11-1 to put me to death. So then the United States Supreme Court came out and said juveniles at the time of their crime can't receive the death penalty.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I went to get sentenced, and I was getting sentenced, and she was basically handing me the sentence. She was saying a bunch of stuff, but I wasn't listening. In my mind, she wasn't talking to me because she said all this stuff. So when I asked the lawyer what she was saying, he said 3 life sentences, something. I said that's impossible because I can't die and come back to life, die and come back to life, die and come back to life. So I know she wasn't talking to me.
Wow.
It defies human logic. Yeah, there's no way I could serve that sentence. So I know she wasn't talking to me. The same way she wrote that sentence, the same way I know one day it's going to be erased. And that's just what I kept up to this day. And here I am speaking to you and getting my case out there to the public, letting the world know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Got to let the world know what's going on because they try to hide it, sweep it under the rug, like this was a just situation. Everybody involved knew it wasn't just. That's why nobody want to open their mouth because the law played a part in it. And if this do get out, and it's gonna get out, and it's gonna get out, they know they could be criminally held responsible for what they did. They know that. They're not slow. So all parties probably agreed to after they had their little arguments, using my appeals and everything, for everybody chill out because don't nobody want to ruin their career, and they just swept them under the rug.
Wow.
That's what they did. But it's in black and white for anybody to read.
Mm-hmm.
But we know as a people, and this don't have nothing to do. I'm colorblind. I don't black, white. That don't mean I love human beings. I look at everybody as equals. You know what I'm saying? But we know what the saying is. If you want to hide anything from a black person, where do you put it at?
In a book.
In a book.
Mm-hmm.
In a book. All these stacks of papers I got sitting by my side, all them stacks of papers you have, who's going to sit down and take time to read them stacks of papers?
Not many
from
people.
Our community.
Right.
They know that. They know that. The people that sat down and made this system knew that. Nobody's going to ever look into this. It's too much. Ain't nobody reading that. You know what I'm saying? They said the system broken. The system not broken. The system was designed to do this. The system was designed to do exactly what it's doing. Holding people back. Putting numerous minorities in jail. It was designed to do that. This ain't nothing new. They designed it. When they couldn't get away with slavery no more, they had to do it sophisticated.
So how many times have you filed paperwork in the courts since you were sentenced? I know
I
numerous.
I must have filed about 6, 7 appeals, maybe 8 appeals. Every last one was denied, and they didn't even read my appeal. I'm talking about I put an appeal in March 3rd. My appeal got my appeal and 1,000+ pages of exhibits for them to look at. I put it in March 3rd. They denied it March 9th. How is that possible? They read that. They don't even read nothing with my name on it. They don't even read nothing. Anything that say Michael Jones, they totally disregarded. No law applied to me. You see it yourself. The law that's afforded to everybody else, it was no law in my case. None. It was a legal lynching. That's exactly what it was. No law was followed. And even in my transcripts, you got times where the judge is laughing because the prosecutor's just doing the most. And she's just laughing, like, oh, I wasn't laughing the whole trial. What you mean you wasn't laughing the whole trial? You were just laughing sometimes? What was funny about it? That you was letting the prosecutor do what he wanted to do so you could put me to death? That was funny? You know what I'm saying? This is on record. So it ain't no covering it up. All somebody got to do is read it. This is on record. You know? So it's like, what they did is because I was young, and, you know, they thought I was illiterate, because I sat there quiet, because they just thought I was dumb, and they, you know, regret it. They're going to regret it because it's going to go public, and the whole world is going to know exactly what they did, and exactly what they are doing in this state to people for years.
Wow. So what is your next step? What's going to happen next? What do you want to happen? I know to walk out of there, but
yeah,
what is
I want to get out of here. My next step is to you know, get everybody aware, first of all, of what took place. This was attempt murder on an innocent kid, innocent African American kid. This is exactly what it was. You know what I'm saying? This was attempt murder. They didn't use no gun. They didn't use no white chalk, no nothing. This was simply a setup conspired. You had government officials that conspired to commit murder. You know what I'm saying? They did it quietly. It started with the detective, Robert Cunningham. His pen. That's why I said I was murdered with an ink pen by police. Not everybody gets murdered with the gun. They got a whole other way they murder us. He sat down at a table with a pen and a piece of paper and falsified and fabricated an affidavit for probable cause for arrest to put me in jail and take my life away. That's what happened. With a pen and a piece of paper, no gun, no bullets.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Nobody knows. But I was murdered with an ink pen by the police. An ink pen. That's what happened. An ink pen and paper took my life. That's what happened. And he got his friends to back him. And everybody just collaborated on me. They all was in cahoots together. All of them. And that's what they did. And now that's their secret. But it's more to this. There's a lot more to the story. We just summing up a little bit of it. There's way more to the story. There's way more to the story. And they, you know, they believe nobody's going to be able to sit down and read it. Once they see the volume of papers, who's going to want to read all that? Who's going to want to read 4,000 papers? Nobody. But I'm glad you read it. And I'm glad you know the truth. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad about that. And I thank you for that.
Right.
It's a lot more. And even we got to talk a little bit more about the guy I met that was locked up in 2020 that had Robert Cunningham on his case.
Thank you for using GTL.
To sum it up in a nutshell, I was illegally arrested, maliciously prosecuted, and wrongfully convicted. As a human being, I had no rights. They violated my human rights. To say that all parties that were involved in plotting, planning, strategizing my demise are cold and calculated is an understatement. They've been doing this so long, the black, brown, and white minorities, to them it's just business as usual. It's time for us as a people to say enough is enough. There's a war on kids that are stuck in poverty-stricken communities, and the government officials, cops, prosecutors, judges, court-appointed lawyers' motto is, kill them before they grow. Pure population control being done in a manner of evil by those that swore to uphold and protect our rights. How can these same individuals that are responsible for aiding the illegal arrests, malicious prosecutions, and wrongful convictions also be on the board of the Delaware Criminal Justice Committee and the Delaware Innocence Project? The same names are involved in every organization that's supposed to help you when there is wrongdoing. This is nothing more than a vicious cycle of trickery and corruption. We have to wake up. They knew from eons of studying the man that I would one day become. So their motto, kill them before they grow. This is not the last time you'll be hearing from me. I'm dedicating the life I have left to exposing these injustices and bringing about truth. I want to thank all those that are here for me, were here for me, and will be here for me going forward. I love you and appreciate you. We win.
This concludes our show for today. And if you have any comments, suggestions as it pertains to our show, feel free to reach out to me at SimoneLovesHour@gmail.com. Again, SimoneLovesHour@gmail.com. Or visit our website at www.life+527years wrongfully.com. I want to thank you all for tuning in today, and we'll see you back here, same time, same place, on redmediaradio.com. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.
Listen up, listen in, listen in. Tell your mom, tell a friend, tune them in. Listen up, listen in, listen in. Tell your mom, tell a friend, tune them in. Love, 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 love. Listen on love show. Love, 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 love. Listen on love show.
This is a prepaid call from
Rashid Harris,
an inmate at the County Correctional Facility. All phone calls are subject to recording and monitoring. To decline this call, press 9 now, and to accept this call, press 1 now. Thank you. Your call has been accepted.
Hold on, Bob. Hold on. Start over for me. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Baby boy to a queen, you gave me life all the way to 13. Pressure me to do right. Hard-headed ways got me caught up in the fight. Old memories. I love you, ma. Give me unconditional love. Come give me a hug. When I come and resort, you my backbone. You show me love and support. Can you ever forgive me for the wrong choices I made? Days we cried, days you made better than others. Days we prayed to better each other. Days I came just to give a kiss to my mother. Today's the day I get forgiveness from others.
Baby boy. Baby boy, baby boy, baby boy, baby boy, baby boy, baby boy.
It's plenty of ways you can learn from one another. Even without a father, you still taught me how to love, respect, and be loyal to my woman. When my heart got broke, you was there when no woman wouldn't. Give me a shoulder to lean on, patting my back. Then you spoke on how everything gon' be alright. Turn my feather to a smile, how it shines so bright. Even in my darkest days, how the sun shines so bright. Even so, your sun grew to shine so bright. I try to bully the streets, what's your life like? It took me to get life to see what life is like.
Baby boy, baby boy, ooh, baby boy, baby boy, baby boy, baby boy, ooh, baby boy.
Just to give a kiss to my mother. Today's the day I get forgiveness from others.
1 minute remaining.
I got to call back.